Hi, welcome back to our part. So here is chapter 4, unit C, the saving plans and investments. Our last chapter we have done is the compound interest, which you just put your deposit once to an account pays interest and accumulating value to see like either way compounding like fixed amount of a year, like monthly, daily, or quarterly, semi-annually, or even continuously. All right, but this chapter, this unit is your saving plan, right? You deposit $100, like the idea, let's see, right? $100 into a saving plan at the end of each month, right? At the end of each month. Then let's see what happens, right? You're not making one-time payment, you're making regular monthly payments, right? Then your plan, right? The saving plan pays the interest monthly at APR to be 12%, right? That's annual percentage rate, which compounding monthly, that's 1%, but you also deposit every month, right? So let's see the table, right? End of 6 months, month one, prior balance is $0. Interest, nothing applied to it, right? But end of the month, you deposit $100 into it. So you have the new balance to be $100. Right, then that's in the beginning of month two, you would have $100 in your account. Then during that month, you will have 1% interest applied to it, will have $1 interest. And again, you at the end of your month, right, you put in a deposit. So $100 interest, $100 deposit, and your prior balance was $100. So together, you will have $101 with balance and interest, plus your next deposit to be $100. At the end of second month, you have $201. So prior balance of the month three, right? At the end of second month or at the beginning of the third month, you have $201. During that month, you're still paying 1% interest to your $201 to get $2.01. Right, $2.01 is the interest amount. Together with your prior balance and the end of month, you put $100 into your account. Together of those prior balance, interest payment you get from the current month, and end of month you get $100 deposit again. That's $303.01. Apply to the same idea. You have prior balance, you have interest applied to your balance, and you have new deposit at the end of 6 months. You'll have $615.20. So $600 was your deposit, and together total interest that is $15.20. Right, so that is saving plan, right? And a lot of like annuity is given that deposit, like the retirement plan, if you heard of, right? RRA or something like TIAA, right? Those things. Making regular payments from yourself and your employer to your retirement plan, right? Is one type of the saving plan. But every time you're calculating that amount, it will be very tough to get the total number calculating by the table, right? Even it's doable by Excel, but that's still not that easy to do. Right? We have a formula, right? Hopefully those economists help us to do that and find the formula of the saving plan accumulated balance, right? Or some also called annuity. Right, the end of a month is to making deposit. That's the condition here, right? Some other plans making the saving or deposit in the beginning of the month. That's another story, right? That what we are having is always at the end of the month. Right, so the total accumulated balance, that is the formula of payment or deposit you put regularly each month times the numerator is tricky, but that part 1 plus APR over n to the ny is what we see in the compound interest. Minus 1, that gives the numerator divided by APR over n on the bottom. Right, so doing that formula, we can see from the last chapter already, this whole thing we can do together in one step in our calculator, then take away 1, right? So that whole step we can do in one step. And the bottom will also doable to one step. So we'll have two numbers, then make a quotient, then multiply by the regular payments. Right? N is the number of payment period each year. Usually that is 12, right? And Y to be number of years. So this formula, you need that when you're having like a regular saving plan. So you need to write it down, right? Or to have it somewhere. So when we do the examples, you'll see. Okay, so that's the example we see by the table, right? The answer we know already $615.20. 6 months, when you deposit $100 every month, right? At the end of every month, where the APR is 12%. Right, let me highlight it. Right, the balance of 6 months. And the APR of 12%. And the monthly payments of $100, right? Or in other words, the monthly deposit. Right, so accumulated value at the end, that's monthly payments multiplied by 1 plus APR over n, right, to the ny minus 1, divided by this APR over n. Right, that's a long formula, but you have calculator. Right, so APR, that's 12%. Monthly payment is $100. And that is 12 payment per year. And we only have 6 months. So the year is a half, a half or 0.5. Let me just put a half to make more sense. Right, so that's what we have. Right, like similarly as what we have from last chapter, $100 payment multiplied by the long fraction. That's 1 plus 0.12 divided by 12 to the 12 payments multiplied by 1/2 power minus 1 divided by 0.12 over 12. That's all the number plug in, right? Always it will be good to have whatever given information on the side. When I go back to check, it's always a benefit, right? To make it more organized. Pull out information, that's what I usually say first. Right, so using our calculator, that's 1 plus 0.12 over 12 raised to the power 12 times 1/2, right? Since that's only 1/2 year period, minus 1 at the end. Right, that we get is to keep all the digits, 0.0615, what? 201506. And the point 12 divided by 12, it's apparently 0.01. You want to check, you could do that, right? Then we have this value, top bit divided by 0.01. We get 6.15. 201506, right, of course. Then multiply this number by 100. That's 615.201506. And that's money, so that's $615.20. Right, so the formula is not that tricky, right? When you have a good calculator to help you, show you what you have done and step by step, that can get the quotient easily, right? Get the quotient easily. And compared to our table results, that's $615.20 is the balance you get at the end of month 6, right? So what you need more is practice, right? Plug in, grab all the information you have, right? Summarizing it and use it or use your formula to find out, right? Simply that is the saving plan. And the question, note the most important criteria here, it shows it pays monthly payments, right? You make monthly deposit, that's a fixed amount, right? This question, when we use the saving plan formula. All right, so things getting a little harder, right? Retirement plan. Age 30, Michelle starts an IRA to save for retirement. Well, that information may be important, right? At age 30. Deposits 100 at the end of each month. If she can count on APR of 6%, how much will she have when she retires 35 years later at age 65, right? That's not a percent. At age 65. Compare the IRA value to her total deposit over this time period. Right, so we also need to find her total deposit, right? Over this time period, compare the IRA's final value. Right, so this question, age 30 is actually not that important because they tell us she retires at age 65 and that's in total 35 years, right? The question told us already. So 30, 65, that's 35 years apparently. Okay. So these age 30, age 65, that's just tell us the difference, right? Nothing else it does. So it's still, right? It makes the regular month payment and nothing else like nothing different like our previous question. 1 plus the APR over n raised to the ny minus 1, right? It's just another subtraction at the end, more than our last chapter, right? Last unit. All right. And payment is what? Payment is still $100 monthly payment. The APR is counted to be 6%. Right? That is 0.06. And usually it's monthly payment, right? Monthly deposit usually we make, right? And year now is 35 years. So that's 35 years times 12, that's about what? Let me see, is 420 times 12. Yeah, 420 payments in total. All right. Okay, so let's get the work. All right, let's do the work. If you want, you can pause here to double check, right? To plug in yourself to see what answer you will get, right? Ready? You can pause your video. Okay, so let's get back. It's just what? Similar as last one, right? You have your notes with you. So same as the last one, done. It's 1 plus 6%. Right, let me draw it. That's a typo, right? That's not 65%, so exclude that. Okay, so that's confused. 12 payments every year, right? 12 deposit. And for the power, that's 12 times 35 minus 1. Divided by, oh, well, the line, well, I'm always not good at drawing, right? You can tell. Okay, all right, a little better. 0.06 divided by 12. All right. So we have what? 100 multiplied the numerator. That is the whole thing, right? 1 plus 0.06 divided by 12. Raised to the power of 12 payments all over 35 years, minus 1. Well, wow, that's 7.12. 1, 2, 3, 5, 5, 1, 494. And the denominator is 0.06 divided by 12, 0.005. Right, that's $100 payments. And the quotient 7.123551494. 1494, right? That is the value we have divided by 0.005. Wow, that's 1,424. 710,299 is what? Just this value times 100 and round, right? 2 places to the right to keep 2 digits decimal. That will be good enough, right? For $142,471 and 91 cents. Right. But that's not everything, right? Everything yet. What the question also asks is what? Not only the IRA value, but also the total deposit. Total deposits, that's what? Fixed amount of deposit. That's no formula, right? Intuitively, that's fixed amount of deposit every month. You have 12 months every year, and that's 35 years. Oh, we have found $42,000. Right, so a lot of people selling those type of investment product also always tells you, right? If that APR is that fixed, even you make $100 every month, you will get a bunch of big amounts, right? At the end of certain years when you get retired. But be cautioned, right? Be cautioned that your money you deposit every month, right? Just $100 But after 35 years, we are not guaranteed, right? The CPI, what that will be, right? Consumer Price Index, that tells how worthy your money will be, right? Maybe your index accumulated will be higher than the APR you get, right? That means at the end of your retirement, your $42,000 money you make each period, that could be worthy like more than that if you're not paying that to your account. We don't know. So someone can decide, right? If your money could gonna be more worthy or gonna be less worthy than the accumulated value at the end. Right? Imagine that, well, even in well, not say 10 years ago, we'll just say 2019, right? Before the pandemic, the price was not that high, but after pandemic, you can see all the prices are increased very high, like 20–30% increasing for the daily expenses, I would say, right? So if you make deposit, if you're not using those amount of money when you were earned, right, in your 2019, then couple just 2 years later, right, your money is worth less. So we cannot say, right, if you have money saved, keep that in saving plan will be a good idea or maybe a bad idea. If you have other ways to invest, that's you can choose yourself, right? Right, but here we're talking about the retirement plan. For now, that's 14,200. I mean, 142,000 is a good amount, right? Comparing to whatever you deposit, your interest is over 100,000 anyway in that case, right? Okay, so let's go to the next. Right, so this time, right, this question I just analyzed for you again. I will build a 100,000 college fund in 18 years by making a regular end of month payments and the APR is 7%. Calculate how much you should deposit monthly, right? It's kind of backwards. It asks of your monthly payment. Right, and after you calculating your monthly deposit, you are able to find your total amount of actual deposits and your interest, right? The same idea we see from last question. Right, so yeah, instead of payments, they tell us the accumulated value, or the goal, right? Then we'll need to calculate out what's the amount of the payments, monthly regular payments we need to make. Okay, so you can try to do this one, and let's see, right? Pause the video for now, and when you're done, you could try to see what happened, right? Okay, so still, right, the same formula we have. Payment multiplied by 1 minus 1 plus APR over N to the N times Y minus 1 divided by APR over N. Right, and what do we know? Well, what we do know is the accumulated value is 100,000. We want to find the payment, right? The payment is what we don't know. But still, that's the equation if we know the thing scalar, right? In other words, it's called scalar, right? What it is multiplied to. We could divide the scalar on both sides, then we get the payment. The scalar have everything known, right? APR 7%. N is 12 months. That's still you're making monthly payment, right? And 18 years. Maybe it's college fund for the kid, right? For the kid. All right. So for this question, yeah, let's still do it same way. And finally get payment we don't know, right? Remember before we save the product payment at the end, we still get the scalar, then multiply, right? That multiplication is always the last step. So in this one, a little different, but all same, right? 1 plus 0.07 divided by 12 to the n times y, that's 12 times 18, minus 1, divided by 0.07 divided by 12. All right. I'll just erase 1 to make it a little lower. Okay, all right. Right, so that is payment multiplied by what? We have a ratio here. 1 plus 0.07 divided by 12 raised to the power of 12 payments of 18 years minus 1. Right, and the bottom is 0.07 divided by 12. Right, so we get the top is 2.51. 2539 322. And also we get 0.005 8. Then we follow many threes, right? Whatever many threes we get, that is the scalar at the end. In this step, we're able to find it. Right, 2 point divided by also this number, right? Ooh, we get 430.717210267. Right. So accumulated value, we know that is what? That is 100,000 is payment times this 430.7210267. So when we divide on both sides, we're able to get what? To get the monthly payments, right? Yes. So 100,000 divided by this amount we get. And keep 232 point what? 1688374. That in money, that's $232.17. Right, so that is the final step of not final step, but the final step of the payment calculation, right? The payment calculation. Right, but the question is not done, right? It asks other thing, right? Actual deposit and total interest, right? Deposit monthly, that's 232.17. Actual deposit, that is what? your monthly payments we see from last time, right? I mean, last question. 12 payments you make for 18 years. That is 12 payments, 18 years. That's 50,000. $148 and 72 cents. Therefore, the remaining from the deposit of what? Of your total amount will be the interest. Right, let me just put a dollar sign here. Right, 100,000 minus 50,148.72 cents will be the amount of interest, right? That's 49,800 $51.28, right? Let's see. Right, $49,851.28. Okay, so that portion, right? Total deposit is 50,148, and the portion from interest is 49,000. So almost half, right, is from the interest. Last question, because it's what? It's a longer term. Even though with lower interest rate, right, we can see the larger portion is on the interest, right? Almost 2/3 of the portion, right? Only 1/3 of the portion is from about 1/3, of course, right? A little less than 1/3 portion of the total is from the deposits, right? Or more than 2/3 of the portion give us interest. Here, since invests only 18 years, then about half and half, right? Interest and deposit. But that's still a huge amount, right? That's still a huge amount. Okay. And well, for the other type of investment, right, not only you have saving plans to do, right? Sometimes stock, bond, or even cash, right? Stock or equity gives you a share of ownership in the company. You must invest some principal amount to purchase the stock, and the only way to get your money out is to sell the stock. Right, the stock price is changing with time, so the sale may give you either a gain or a loss on your original investment, right? Otherwise, in other words, the stock can have like increasing or decreasing your money, right? Or you maybe gain your money or maybe lose your money, right? The risk, it is more risky than like a saving plan fund or an IRA fund, right? They are also not guarantee of that APR, but it is less risky than the stock, right? Some people are really good at economic or good at finance or help you investing your money to a bond or to some like a stock, right? They truly believe that the stock will be making money, right? So they are more professional than you, in short, right? So they have huge amount will affect the market, right? But when you do personal stock, it's not guaranteed to gain or to gain money, right? It still has risk to lose your investment. Right? But if you believe yourself, do a lot of research, that short-term or long-term stock is making money, right? Even you have other options like to buy the futures, to buy the options, right? That's other different story, but it's same market, right? Then the bond or debt represents a promise of future cash, right? It's more or less promise, but whenever it's less risky, that means your return will be lower. It will be lower. Something with high risk will have high return. Low risk will have low return, right? That's one common sense, right? In the economic market, right? Right. So you buy a bond by paying some principal amount to the issuing government or corporation. The issuer pays you simple interest as opposed to compound interest, right? It only pays you the simple interest and promise to pay back your principal at some later date, right? So yeah, again, the bond is it's less risky, but the return will be also less, right? We have CR saving plan is also compounding the interest. That's how that give us that much money, right? But if it's simple interest, then it will be less, way less. Right? So the bond is that type of investment. And also the cash investment includes money you deposit in the bank, certificates or deposit, and US Treasury bills, right? Cash investment generally earn interest, right? So that's this type. But when you put money into bank account and like saving account, well, simply will not be that much, right? If it's guaranteed or generally earned interest, still, right? It will be less return again, right? So that's everything about the investment. So thank you.